So, the latest update for Star Wars Battlefront 2 has been out for around a day or so, and in this video I'm going to be doing a complete review of it and just kind of giving my overall thoughts on the update itself, and then at the end I am going to be giving it a rating score out of 10. So let's jump into the first thing that I want to talk about, and that is actually sequel trilogy capital supremacy. Now, if you have been watching some of my previous videos, you will know that this is one of the biggest things that I have been asking for, not just sequel trilogy capital supremacy, but capital supremacy for other eras, because whenever it did first release, the developers did state that this was a Clone Wars only mode, which was really disappointing. And as much as I do love the prequel trilogy and all the stuff it has to offer, I do also love the other two eras as well. So whenever they did make that statement, I was really disappointed and really let down, because it is a extremely fun mode. It is by far my favorite mode that the game has added. But luckily they did listen to the fans and are adding these other two eras. So obviously with the latest update we got sequel trilogy, and then with the next update it is planned to have the original trilogy for the Death Star 2 starting out, and then having other maps added on later for this mode. So currently with the January update, we have got an Ajan Class, Jakku, and Takodana for capital supremacy, and honestly that is completely fine. Having 3 planets for this new mode at once is a surprise to be sure. Unfortunately for me, my favorite maps for the sequel era are Crate and Starkiller Base, and then Ajan Class is also really fun as well, so at least I have that. But Jakku and Takodana just don't really fit my playstyle. Jakku is just too linear for me. I'm just not a huge fan of the map design overall. I really enjoyed Jakku in Battlefront 2015, and I would really like to see them port that over at some point, but I doubt we will see that happen. And then Takodana is not really a bad map by any means. I still enjoy playing it, but like I said, Crate and Starkiller Base just fit my playstyle a whole lot more, and I just enjoy the look and layout of them overall a lot more. But we did also get 2 brand new maps along with this update, those being the MC-85 and Resurgent Class Star Destroyers for this mode. And I gotta say, they are really well made maps. They are brand new basically completely. They look really good, they're really sleek, especially the Star Destroyer one. But I must admit, something that is disappointing to me is the fact that you can only play on these in capital supremacy, despite them being really amazing, well made maps. And so I do think there is a lot of missed opportunities with this, in fact, of bringing them to modes like co-op, instant action, heroes vs. villains, and all the other smaller modes as well. And I also feel this way about the Clone Venator as well as a Separatist Dreadnought. I know they did bring him for heroes vs. villains, but if I'm correct, that's the only other mode they have them in. You can't play them in any offline mode or blast or any of the other ones, so it is a huge missed opportunity. But luckily, Ben Walk, who is the community manager for Star Wars Battlefront 2, did make a recent comment on this over on Reddit, and the only thing he did say was that conversations have happened about them adding the interior maps for instant action and co-op, and I'm assuming if they do that, they would probably add them for the other modes as well. So luckily, it is something that is on the table over at DICE, and I really hope they do incorporate it sooner than later, as they are really cool looking maps, like I said, and really fun to play in. And I just think it would be kind of a waste of resources to have this brand new map that's huge and has so much detail to them, and then just not include them in any other mode. So luckily, they are talking about it, so hopefully that does happen. And then they also brought the glorious instant action mode for sequel trilogy as well, along with the same 3 maps, Ajan Class, Jakku, and Takodana. And I really love playing on instant action, especially because I am a PC user. You can have up to 32 bots on each side, which is absolute madness, but it's just a lot of fun overall. But I really wish there were a lot more options for customability for this mode. I'm actually planning on making a whole video talking about how instant action can be improved in so many different ways, including adding starfighters and just a bunch of other smaller things as well. And I'm hoping to get that video out sometime in the next week or so. I'm just gonna have to wait and see. So go ahead and comment down below what changes you would like to see for instant action, and maybe I'll include some of them in the video. I'm still trying to get a good list of things. But it is still fun to play offline with bots that are actually pretty powerful and pretty smart. So it is just a lot of chaos, like I said, especially on the PC. And then there are a ton of mods that the fanbase have created, really amazing ones that I love to use offline. Now, a lot of mods you can use online, of course, but there are some that change up abilities and change up weapons and all that stuff. So you can use those on offline without getting banned. So instant action is the perfect mode to use those on. And next up, before I get into talking about the new heroes, one of my favorite changes that they did incorporate with this update is the fact that Vader's choke has been basically completely revamped in my opinion. It works almost exactly like the way it did in Battlefront 2015, where he does do his force choke, but he is also allowed to move around freely and throw his lightsaber and swing his lightsaber at other enemies, and honestly, it makes him really powerful now. He still has the damage reduction on him, but Ben Walk did say that the team are investigation on this and that they are looking into it, so I'm sure they'll remove it simply because of how powerful it is. But yeah, like I said, I am super glad they did decide to add this change because it is one that the community has been requesting for quite some time now, and now I know that I am going to be playing as Darth Vader a lot more because of this ability change, and I am hoping they continue to rework abilities that just aren't that good and don't work as well for other characters. We do know that either in March or February that Leia Organa is getting a complete revamp of all three of her abilities, and even one is going to get completely changed out. I'm assuming it's going to be the flash grenade and it's going to be getting changed to a thermal detonator as she uses in Return of the Jedi, but that's all speculation. All we know is that they are looking at new heroes and stuff and changing a lot of their abilities based on community feedback and just how powerful or weak they are. So I'm really thankful for that. And now I'm going to be talking about the one and only BB-8 and then BB-9E as the new heroes. So I made a whole video talking about how angry the fans were, or not all of them, but there were a lot of people that were really upset about this. Because, including myself, I really would like to see Ahsoka Tano come to the game, and then Poe Dameron would be a really fun ground hero. But BB-8 and BB-9E were chosen to be added because they're simply so unique and just a different thing to see on the battlefront, and the droids are just such an important part for the Star Wars films and shows and all that. But since we've all been able to play as them, we have given our kind of complete thoughts on them, and from the majority that I have seen, a lot of the community are very happy with how they turned out, and they do say they are a lot of fun to play as, and I agree with them. They are pretty fun to play as. Now, personally, I just will not really use them as much. That's not me saying I dislike them being added. I think they're a really cool addition to the game, and they are still extremely fun to see rolling around on the battlefront, and they are extremely hard to kill as well. But personally, I am a lightsaber user when it comes to my heroes, so whenever I get 4,000 battle points, I am mainly going to try and get a lightsaber hero, and that goes for the same for blaster heroes as well. So I personally will not be using them that much unless I'm just feeling like doing something different. But at the same time, I am glad that they decided to do something unique with this, and so it is good to see that they are trying out new things. But yeah, that is pretty much my overall thoughts on the update itself. I am pretty happy with it. It was delayed a couple of days due to a major bug that allowed you to do absolutely no damage to enemies, so they did have to take a few days to fix that bug. Luckily, I haven't seen too many issues with it. The only glitch that I did encounter was with Rey on Jakku, of course, and I actually got stuck in between this corner or something like that, and I could move, I could jump, but I could not get out of it. It was really weird, and so that is something that I hope they do fix. I did send it out and stuff, so I'm sure it will be fixed in the meantime. But other than that, the game seems to be pretty good when it comes to bugs and glitches, which is a good sight to see. So overall, I think I'm going to be giving this update either a 7.8 or 8 out of 10. I definitely would have given it a 9.5 out of 10 if the other two maps, Starkiller Base and Crate, were included in any of the modes that featured the sequel trilogy, those being Instant Action, Co-op, or Capital Supremacy. I would have taken any one of those, but to see those two maps not really left out because I'm sure we'll get them in the future. But like I said, they are some of my favorite maps, so I am still really happy with this update. So I'm going to go ahead and give it like an 8 out of 10. I think it was a really solid one, and it works really well. I am glad they decided to delay it a few days due to that major bug. Because it's a video game, it does happen, and that's just how development works. So I am really happy with this, and that is pretty much going to do it for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy. Go ahead and comment down below your overall thoughts with the BB-8 update, and just tell me what your favorite part about it was, what your least favorite part about it, and all that, and just give me your honest thoughts. I'll be reading all the comments and stuff. And then be sure and leave a like on the video if you did enjoy. It really helps out the channel a lot. And if you're new, subscribe for more Star Wars news, gameplay, and more. And I'll hopefully see you in the next one.